I went for a cycle ride this morning, and as usually happens when I jump on my bike, my mind was pretty much everywhere other than cycling. And it's a strategy I use deliberately. It helps me get up the really crazily big hill, which is really hard when you're not properly warmed up. But there comes a point where I actually want to leave the world to sort out its own problems, and I want to focus on what I'm doing. I want to enjoy that feeling of being on a bike and really appreciate the beauty around me. And so last year I set up a trigger. A trigger is something that we attach a meaning to that causes us to respond or act in a certain way. And you will have many triggers in your life, whether or not you're consciously aware of them. They might be people, places, things. For example, you might go to a certain place and you might have positive feelings, while another gives you negative feelings, or just leaves you feeling neutral. A valuable exercise is to review your triggers. As you do so, you can analyze which are benefiting you and which are holding you back. Then look at the activities you carry out or wish to start doing, where you can set a deliberate trigger to change the way that you act, which is exactly what I've done with cycling. I have a very short and rocky sprint up to the entrance of the park. And when I get to the top, there's this kind of gate that I have to work my way through. And once I get through the gate and I look to the side of me, I'll see a small clump of trees. And that clump of trees is my trigger. When I see it, I'll say to myself, often out loud, trees breeze. And those words, trees breeze, are my reminder to come back to myself and be completely and utterly mindful for the whole time that I cycle through the national park. Now, I'm only human, and yes, my mind will wander, but every time it does, I find I'll feel a breeze or I'll see a beautiful looking tree, and instantly I'll come back and I'll say to myself, trees breeze, and I'll focus again, and I'll feel the ground beneath the tires. I'll feel sweat on my face. I'll hear the birds around me, and I'll spot things that normally I wouldn't notice. And it's a beautiful thing to be utterly and completely mindful. Over the years, I've developed many deliberate triggers, and in fact, martial artists are great at starting every single training session with one. But I'll explore martial arts triggers another time. Right now, I have 2 questions for you. What is your favorite trigger? And is there a trigger in your life that you would like to create or change?